up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid
I'm
hot.
fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener.
Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people? It's Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for kicking off today with the crew. Look who's back on the desk with the WUW Crew. It is a vet of the network, Flannel Sam, Sam Reynolds. What up, though, my brother?
Hey, feels like it's been forever, but you know what? It's like I never left, you know? It's like riding a bike. You come on in, and you're just with your guys, and everything just flows naturally, so I'm looking forward to a good show.
Let's rock, man. It's your boy, Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential business reporter for the network. And you know what, Flannel, I believe that I came dressed appropriately.
Yes, you did.
I got on the Michigan stuff. I got on the Go Blue stuff. I know we're going to talk a little bit of that after we talk a whole lot of Detroit Lions training camp. Whew. Anything on your mind? Anything that you just have to just get on wax since you've been away that you have to make sure you put on the Wake Up Woodward wax?
I wish that I did, but I think within the flow of the show, I will have enough to say that will suffice everything.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Let's go. You know what? I was about to say let's get to the rest of the crew. You guys already know who that is. Matthew Broder, our credential Tigers reporter and our Lions reporter and writer for the network.
Yeah, hey, go Blue. We
Go
here
Blue.
today. Go Lions. A lot of wild reports out of camp yesterday. It's heating up, man. They play Thursday. This is now 3 days.
Oh.
In 3 days, on that third day, we're going to be watching Lions football on TV because they're away at the Giants. But we're going to be watching them.
What a treat. I can't wait.
What a treat.
I can't. Hey, shout out to that dude, Justin, and we got Chase in the building as well. It's awesome to see the way that the WUW Crew is growing. I love it, man. Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this. Go ahead and smash that like button. Shout out to our elite booth. Got to go to the sound booth. Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
AKA Black Arrow, AKA impromptu show host. Apparently. hey, but I'm happy to be
Keep
here,
holding
man.
it down.
Hey, happy to be here. Go Blue, as always, man. We standing strong with our team, and yeah, man, can't wait to get into it.
Hey, what's up with the shirt?
Oh, of course, it's the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. Come on now, Cassius Clay.
There you go. And you guys already know we got to go to Woodward Sports' MVP in the titty booth on a Tuesday. That is JB-Smoov.
Breast.
Yo, shout out, y'all. Shout out KG for holding it down yesterday, man. Yeah. I know that was crazy, man, yesterday. But, hey, you held it down. I got to see what this conversation is about these Michigan State, these Michigan cheaters, I should say.
Ah, here we go.
What?
Here we go.
What?
See, hey, everyone, a reminder, it started there.
Look at Flannel's face.
You know, Michigan fans, real Michigan fans usually don't start it. It just came from the booth. And I believe he bleeds green.
You know what?
Just pointing that out.
It sounds like college football season.
College football is here.
Woo! Hey, Broder, do you want to tell the people what we are talking about today?
Football. We got a lot of football playing.
Yes.
We're going to talk Lions in the first hour, a little around the NFL in the 8:15 segment to get warmed up, but it does relate to the Lions. We're going to talk about training camp at about 8:30, somewhere between 8:30, 8:35. Then we're going to get into Michigan football, both the Stallions conversation and some actual football because they play in, was it like 19 days? They play at the end of August. They open up against Fresno State, and they got a team. They just released some preseason college football rankings, and we promise this is a week we're starting to talk college football. So I have some questions for the crew on the secondary. Where the secondary like? Because when I was doing some research, getting ready, I didn't realize actually how strong the Big Ten is going to be across the board, secondary-wise, matching up with the country. So I think we're going to have a good conversation in the second hour on college football.
Ooh, it is that time. So you know what? Let's get into these layup lines, man. Let's get warmed up.
You know who wasn't here last week? When the Tigers had their trade deadline. We got to go back in time a week because we haven't heard Flannel's take. I'm actually really curious what his thoughts were on the trade deadline because we were doing front office flannel. He was acting like Scott Harris for the weeks leading up and had some really good scenarios. I'm curious what he thinks. Flannel.
Yeah.
The Tigers trade deadline. What do you think about how it played
He's had
out?
time to digest all of this, too.
Tommy Pham went somewhere else. So.
Tommy Pham went to the Cardinals and has been raking, by the way. But I'm just saying, for everybody who said that Tommy Pham's not a difference maker, it's just or Mark Canna's doing pretty good for the Giants, by the way, as well. Just saying. But no, I would say mixed results. We can't really tell everything yet. I would have preferred personally if the Tigers would have got a top 100 prospect somewhere for Jack Flaherty, but that didn't quite work out. But at the same time, you know what this also tells me too? That actual GMs like Scott Harris, they don't look at MLB top 100. It's irrelevant to them. They just scout who they like and they get what they think is the best trade return. And one thing that I do like when it comes to what they've got is that Trey Sweeney,
yes,
Terrion Lorenzo, is that how you pronounce it?
Tyrone
Lorenzo. And Liam Hicks, every single one of them, and this is a really geeky Flannel Sam stat, but I don't care. Every single one of them throughout their entire minor league careers have on-base percentages that are at least 100 points higher than their batting averages. What does that mean? That they all take their walks, that they all can get on base even when they're in slumps. And I certainly like that, especially Liam Hicks, a catcher with an over 400 on-base percentage in the minors. That's pretty damn good. And even a guy like Trey Sweeney, he's somebody that is a candidate to be called up in September call-ups. He might be somebody that you can see tangibly on the Tigers and see his value, even if it's later in irrelevant games. I think it would make it easier to stomach. Would I have preferred that they traded Tarek Skubal as well for a haul? Yes, I would have, but we don't know what the offers were. Maybe the Orioles were never willing to part with Jackson Holliday, and I think all of us would agree that Jackson Holliday was a non-negotiable. So with all that in conjunction, the fact that they were also able to get a couple top 30 organizational pitching prospects, they're not top 30 organizational prospects on the Tigers from guys like Carson Kelly and Andrew Chafin, I would say that initially I would give the deadline like a B- C+.
Okay.
Certainly not an F.
Love that man. Love that man.
Spicy
Shots fired.
flannel.
So the hype at the end, I don't know like how close you were following at 6 o'clock in the deadline. It was winding down before they had made the Flaherty trade, the Canna trade. Does that market? Does that make you think anything less of the deadline? We saw that Kikuchi trade. We got to bring up Kikuchi.
Coochie gang.
It just seemed like the Flaherty market, maybe after the Yankees backing out, wasn't exactly what we all felt, the best starter at the trade deadline would get.
Yeah. I mean, he has, the thing about Flaherty, though, is he is purely a rental. And maybe we discounted how that would depreciate his value. But at the same time, as I said, this whole like Terrion Lorenzo thing, he's got an over 370 on base percentage in the minors, despite having some struggles hitting, and he has some power. And he's right now the 5th ranked prospect according to the MLB Top 100 in the Tigers organization. I already told you about Trey Sweeney, how you might see him with the Tigers in September. At least I certainly hope so. So did it seem a little underwhelming at the time for Jack Flaherty? Certainly it did. Did I want a top 100 prospect? Of course I did. But there seems to be a philosophy with Scott Harris. He wants guys with high on-base percentages, starting with trading for Justin Henry Malloy and then having it be continued into what they got at this year's trade deadline. And Justin Henry Malloy, the returns so far, I think, have been a little mixed, but more good than bad. He has power. He gets on base, even though his batting average is a little lower than you would like. I don't mind those type of players. That's kind of what we've seen from a guy like Terrion Lorenzo in the minors so far.
And my question is this: what matters ultimately to Detroit Tigers fans is the big club getting back to winning.
Yeah.
How, in any way, did this trade deadline affect that timeline for the Tigers?
Well, I wasn't able to show it, and because we didn't get to it on Big D Energy yesterday, but you look at a guy like Trey Sweeney, for example.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he's going to be Francisco Lindor or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. It's just with somebody like him, he's a guy that you might be looking at as an actual serviceable shortstop for this team in the even not so distant future. Like I said, if there's lineups at the end of the season in September in which you've got Riley Green out there, you've got Kerry Carpenter, you've got Dylan Dingler, hell, you might have Spencer Torkelson, you've got Trey Sweeney. That's something that's worth watching. That's something where if it's like maybe there's a future for this team. You've got Colt Keith as well. So, I don't know. Jack Flaherty, if they were to have kept him and re-signed him, I think he'd be more valuable to the Tigers winning next year than Trey Sweeney is going to be. But I still think within the next couple of years, maybe even as early as next year, they could make a run at the playoffs.
Wow.
Like a wild card.
Wow. Yo, you know what? I'm buying that.
I love it.
I'm buying that.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. And I see the graphic here, man. For the Lions starters, the Madden rankings, we got a few more minutes to talk about this to see if they got it all right. I already hear KG in the sound booth. Hey, JB, you got that graphic?
Yeah.
Madden never gets it right when it comes to the Lions, man.
I saw some of these rankings, and some of them I was like, you know what? I'm dubbing this the Better Made season because there's a big A chip on the Detroit Lions' shoulders, man. Everywhere, whether it's people's rankings as it relates to what they think they're going to do in real life or the digital world, apparently, man. The Madden rankings. JB, do you mind reading those off?
All right, yeah. So at the top, number one, obviously, is the Kansas City Chiefs.
And this is your top 10 offenses.
Yeah, this
Top 10 offenses?
top 10 offenses. So Chiefs at number one. You got the Ravens, number two at 91 overall. The Eagles at number three, 90. 49ers come in fourth at 89. The Bengals are right after them at 89 as well. And then our Detroit Lions at 88.
So the sixth best offense for the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
When we're really a top 3 offense in the NFL. So.
Yeah, KG, look, man, you got to talk on it, bro.
I mean, it is what it is. It's Madden. I don't know what criteria they go by when they come up with these outrageous ratings that they have sometimes. But, I mean, at least they got us in the top 10. I'm actually surprised that we're even in the top 10. But we're the third ranked best offense in the league. I think we should be maybe just a touch higher, but I'm not going to complain with an 88.
I wonder sometimes, like when I see these types of things, what is it that they're looking at to put the Lions sixth rather than where we see them at? Like, are we looking at this thing through Honolulu glasses, or is there something legitimate to some of the concerns that people have, or how they believe that Jordan Love is ready to kind of ascend and take over the North?
Well, this one doesn't have the Packers in the above the Lions, so
Yeah.
so for the purpose of this,
Right.
I'm gonna
Can't complain too much.
I'm gonna exclude Jordan Love from all this. I think when it comes to teams like, for example, the Bengals and the Eagles, do I think that there's a pathway to them having comparable offenses to the Lions? Sure, I do. Obviously, with the Bengals, the non-negotiable is Joe Burrow being healthy, but for 2 out of 4 seasons, he has had missed significant time due to injuries. And with the Eagles, obviously, something was a little rotten there at the end of the year. Jalen Hurts was a little bit banged up. They got Saquon Barkley. I could see them returning to their offensive form of a 2022. But with the Lions, you actually saw them have a dominant offense last season. I mean, dominant's a little bit of a stretch, but at times certainly dominant and one of the top 5 offenses in the NFL. So for that reason, if I were making Madden, I would put them above the Bengals and the Eagles. Although I think there's a pathway for the Bengals and Eagles having damn good offenses as well.
I put them above the Chiefs, too. Like, we're just talking offenses. Granted, Chiefs have the magic around them, but, like, if we're talking just offenses, I'll take Detroit any day of the week over the Kansas City Chiefs, player by player. Granted, they have Patrick Mahomes, but, like, Xavier Worthy?
I feel like
Are you kidding?
Bryce and Kelsey are pretty good.
Yeah, he's
David
okay.
Pacheco. Who's okay?
Kelsey.
He's okay. Did you see the playoffs last year?
Knew
I
that
know
was
everybody
coming.
says that he's washed, but you know.
It was a weird. What I meant to say, Mahomes, Kelsey, and Creed Humphrey, they're in a separate category. But from top to bottom, it's not even close to the offensive line, the depth of the weapons, the running back room. Like, no. Marquise Brown, Jameson Williams.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that it's not even a conversation between Hollywood Brown and a 1,000-yard wide receiver and Jameson Williams, a man who's had 395 receivers? Here we go again.
It's a conversation. It's a conversation. I don't like Marquise Brown. He's been hurt.
That's fine.
But there is a conversation
Drops
to be
passes,
had.
too.
Okay, I should have gone Amon-Ra St. Brown and Rashee Rice.
Amon-Ra.
No conversation. There we go.
But you know what? I love the Jameson Williams optimism. Madden has him ranked 79 to start off the season, and I'm sorry, Flannel, while you were gone. We got to about lap number 52. on our victory lap training camp for Jameson Williams.
You know what? We're gonna talk about.
We already
this.
have your jersey ordered.
Here's what we're gonna do in the segment about training camps. I'm gonna test you guys. I'm gonna make sure you guys are all consistent about something, and a lot of you aren't gonna like it. But what's new?
Flannel's bringing the heat. You know what? It's the best. I got to tell you about something else that's the best as well. That is Premier Pet Supplies, hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer you the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and the big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years, bringing you over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you same day, local curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda. A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. And you can drive over to Dispo. How would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary?
$10?
Screenshot
Free?
this image with the QR code and bring it into any Dispo location, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Oh, man.
Well, this day just got worse.
Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for starting off the day with the crew. Somebody who I thought was having a decent start to training camp. It looks like it's going to be out indefinitely. According to Adam Schefter, he says sources, Lions cornerback Emmanuel Moseley suffered a torn pec in practice and now will be out indefinitely.
Come on.
I gotta throw this over to our guy.
Oh no, you guys go ahead and talk. You don't have to start with me.
All right. Then you know what, Flannel? I'll come to you first, man. I thought that he was having a pretty good training camp. I was looking forward to the depth and the versatility, as well as kind of the veteran leadership that he was going to be able to bring. Something I thought a little bit better than CJ. We talked about the heart and the passion and what we thought he brought to the squad. Well, Emmanuel Moseley was a guy who I thought was trending to actually bring it on the field as well.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, while we were talking about it, I was frantically searching X and being like, this can't be true. This is fake.
Yeah.
Yes, Adam Schefter did break it. And just on the human level, is Emmanuel Moseley ever, like, if I were him, I might just quit football at this point, just with the horrible injury luck that he's had. And this isn't an insult, by the way. It's just, it's just the
just
cards
keeping
just
it real
haven't
at this point in time.
fallen his way the last couple of seasons. But yeah, to piggyback on what you said about him as a player, Emmanuel Mosley, as I've said, at his peak, which I don't know if he was ever going to reach again, but still at his peak, he's somebody that I might even take over Carlton Davis, like pound for pound as a cornerback when they're absolutely at their best. And we heard in training camp, we even heard from Emmanuel Mosley himself that he was somebody who was getting a lot of run as a nickel corner as well, which I didn't even know he had that versatility in him. So it's certainly a big loss. It would have given me some comfort, a healthy Emmanuel Mosley to be back there, especially just in case a guy like Ennis Rakestraw has some rookie growing pains and Terrion Arnold as well. But it looks like for the foreseeable future, he's going to be gone, and probably most of the season.
Like this wasn't something that felt symbolic, like his inclusion on the team.
Yeah.
This is something that I feel like I don't know how necessarily it's going to affect the team, but I was looking forward to what he was going to bring to the squad. KG, what up, though?
It just sucks, man, because this is a guy who seemingly came back early from his second ACL injury, man. He returns for the start of training camp, ends up taking reps with the first team, and now he goes down with a torn pec, which, we saw CJ injure his last year and come back in 2 months. Will that happen here? Don't know, can't really say right now. But this is something that if we do get him back, it will definitely be around playoff time, assuming the Lions make the playoffs. But it's just, that's unfortunate, man. 3 straight injuries in 3 straight years. I mean, that's tough to come back from. And then if you're the Lions as an organization, do you continue to try to do this reclamation project with him? I don't know, but I feel for the man. Thoughts and prayers out to him, and I hope his recovery goes well.
Yeah,
that just sucks.
Yeah, you're right, and that's important. I'm glad that you mentioned that at the end there. Hoping for the best of and the speediest of recoveries for Emmanuel Mosley, and definitely prayers up for his recovery. I now obviously the Lions, they have this mantra of next man up, next man available. This is where the reports of a guy, and you heard that dude Justin already kind of shouted out, like a guy like Ennis Rakestraw, though just a rookie, we've heard great things about him since the pads have gone on.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're Ennis Rakestraw, he's somebody who obviously wasn't as touted of a prospect as a Terrion Arnold. That's why they were able to get him in the second round. But you're hearing a lot of good things from him in camp. This is with the injury of Emmanuel Mosley, it makes it so that he might have to play significant snaps at the beginning of the year, which he might have already anyway. The reality is that this secondary, although I think we are hopeful about it, we love what they could potentially bring as opposed to last season. We love the fact that for the most part, there's a lot of people who can play a lot of positions and are versatile. It would have been better with Emmanuel Mosley out there. And we don't want to have to necessarily count on, as Neil Rule always likes to say, a rookie parlay. We don't want to have to necessarily count on Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw being dudes in year one, because odds are it's not going to happen with both of them. But with Ennis Rakestraw, it's like, all right, buddy, rise to the occasion. Prove why the Lions have so much faith in you.
I like that. Rise to the occasion. Yeah. And you know what? JB-Smoov, you know what? The breaking news of Emmanuel Mosley. What do you believe the Lions need to do from here as well?
As you guys have all said, it's next man up. So this is a time where Ennis Rakestraw could either shine or fail on you, but you got to leave that up to him as well too. With Emmanuel Mosley getting hurt once again, and this is no disrespect to the man at all, because he's an amazing talent, but I think it might be time for the Lions to kind of cut bait on him as it is. Because as KG said, if you're going to get him back somewhere around the playoffs, like, is he going to be ready with all the plays that they're going to be installing as well too? So I don't think there's going to be a huge future with him continuing on with the Lions, but then again, I don't really know. But I think it's kind of best as of right now, you kind of need to just move on from him. And that's sad to say too.
Yeah, especially in a year like this, I would rather the Detroit Lions have a continuity, and if he is somebody that can come back later on in the year, then it's strictly as a need basis. Because at this point in time, the Detroit Lions, they all throughout camp, all the vibes have been good. All the vibes. I'm sitting here trying to think, like, what's the worst vibes that I've heard? And it's probably just the DPJ news. Has a little bit more to do to make sure he locks down definitely that wide receiver 3 role. If that's your worst news in training camp, you're having a pretty good training camp.
Yeah. Well, but it's no longer the worst news, unfortunately, as you alluded to. And I see Eduardo O'Neill. So are we forgetting about Amik? Certainly not.
No.
With Amik Robertson, though, at least in the first depth chart that was released, he was the starting nickel, and Terrion Arnold and Carlton Davis were the starting corners, and you had Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch as the starting safety. So losing Emmanuel Mosley, it's not like the Lions are losing a for sure starter. It's just, man, he would have been really nice as a depth piece from the beginning of the season. Now when we're looking at depth pieces, you're looking at Ennis, Rakestraw, and then not a whole lot else, because I don't think of a guy like Melifonwu as a depth piece. I think of him as somebody who's going to be rotating in and out, whether it's safety or slot corner. Like I said, it's not like Emmanuel Mosley was going to go back to his old form in San Francisco. Hell, it sounded like he would have been playing more nickel, but it's always nice to have more bodies back there, because odds say it's not even going to be the only injury. Hopefully nothing more serious, but he would have been a really nice depth piece. I was really looking forward to watching him, but it's going to be a while.
Yeah, and just to kind of put that context on there, like we had an earlier discussion where somewhere back in February discussing the potential impact of a guy like CJ.
Yeah.
When we were saying, is this a guy that we bring back or not? Ultimately, we know what happened, where he went, and the philosophical discussion was, okay, this guy brings a lot of hype. He's bringing that certain swag, yeah. And you were saying, but where's that impact on the field? This was a guy in Emmanuel Mosley who I thought was going to be able to bring both of those things together as a vet. Not somebody that we thought was going to go out there and be your lockdown number one, but somebody was going to go out there and bring something that I do believe you need during a season like this. He had a certain experience too, because we talked about CJ brings this playoff experience. Well, Emmanuel Mosley had that, but he was going to be somebody that was going to be on the field playing. And all the reports out of training camp, this just I was looking forward to him being able to have a good season as well after working back from both of those knee injuries already. So it's unfortunate to hear.
And the worst thing is when you talk about Emmanuel Mosley right now, the fact that he had another serious injury, you can't even call that surprising anymore. When it's 3 consecutive seasons of, I would say, borderline catastrophic injuries with ACL certainly, and I would say with a torn pec as well, if you're talking about the Lions re-signing him, if you're talking about another team picking him up, when you've had that many injuries, you're borderline radioactive, or you are radioactive, and it's just unfortunate because nobody likes this, nobody is reveling in this, but it's not even necessarily the fact that it happened. He's not the most surprising person to have it happen to. I'll just say that, and I hate to say that because I'm not calling him soft or anything like that. It's just some people are just not blessed with injury luck. A guy like him, a guy like Jason Verrett, it's just, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, injury prone. Like unfortunately, that's a tagline for certain guys once they're just consistently hurt. You hate to say it, but that's kind of the reputation he's got now.
Yeah. At the very least, the Detroit Lions are insulated for something like this. You know, I don't want to overstate it. I was just really looking forward to what that story could have meant and what he could have meant as a guy with experience that was going to give us what I believe to be some decent contribution on the field. Yep. But let me tell you guys about the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren. It's back August 22nd through the 25th at Warwick Hills. The PGA Tour Championship, it returns. But all you got to do is leave the golf to those pros. You don't miss that party at hole number 17. $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. Get your tickets at allychallenge.com. Brought to you by Randy Wise Automotive.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa, featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. We got the entire WUW Crew in the building. Flannel Sam up here, the vet of the squad. Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG in the sound booth. Woodward Sports is MVP. In the city booth, that is JB-Smoov. It's a Tuesday, so it's only appropriate. That dude, Justin, Chase in the building. Our credential Tigers writer and reporter, and our Lions reporter, that is Matthew Broder. It's your boy Brandon Dent, your credential Pistons reporter. And I see A-Diz, he put something in here about Grant Hill's injury. Talk about injuries, man. Emmanuel Mosley is out. And it just, with all the physicality that we've seen this week from training camp, I think it was appropriate that Broder included this on the subject list, the top 3 divisions in the NFL. Now, we presented these. Broder hit us up last night. I don't know what the mastermind was up to, but he asked us to list our top 3 divisions, and all of us came up with a different list.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait to, you know what? Let's start with my list. Why not? Why not? Because you came to me. Let's start with my list.
Let's go.
My perfect list that has no flaws in it whatsoever. So at number 1, I have we got all of them up there. I have the NFC North. So it looks like myself and Kool-Aid both have the NFC North at number 1. And it's kind of crazy to think just last year, just how highly we would think of the NFC North. And my thing is with the Lions and the Packers, they were playoff teams last year. You know me, I am very bullish on Caleb Williams being an immediate upgrade over Justin Fields. And they all of a sudden have a pretty damn good receiver crew for him to throw the ball to. And I think a better offensive line than people think. Especially with receivers, you added a Rome Odunze, you added a Keenan Allen to DJ Moore, who they locked up, by the way. And defensively, we know at all levels they've got guys who can ball out, like Montez Sweat, Jalen Johnson, just to name a couple. And with the Vikings, I think this season Sam Darnold will look pretty damn serviceable in a situation where he's pretty insulated with an offensive coach, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson to throw to, and your bookend tackles of Darashaw and Brian O'Neill. And oh, by the way, the Vikings did lock up Justin Jefferson and Christian Darashaw. Not to deals as team-friendly as the Lions did, but at least they got that out of the way. And it looks like all of us, and this is where, you know what, I'm going to go to Broder first because I have the AFC North at 2, and I was kind of back and forth. And the more I think about it, the more I think they're kind of interchangeable. But Broder, why did you have the AFC North at 1?
Yeah, I just think top to bottom, we know at least what they're going to be. Like when the Bengals are maybe your biggest question mark, or the Steelers, like they got all 4 teams to play a tough brand of football, a physical brand of football. I could see all 4 vying for a playoff spot. I know all 4 won't make it, but I think preseason we could be looking at all 4. I don't know who's going to finish in first place. I assume the Ravens, but there are some other teams coming. And to compare that with the NFC North, I just think the question marks of the Bears and the Vikings specifically, I think the Bears and their ceiling are what could make this the toughest division. But I don't think the Vikings are. I think they're going to have a down year, but I don't think it's a down year like a Patriots down year or a Panthers. So that's why I have the NFC North up there at 1. But I do think the Ravens, the Browns, Steelers, and who's the other team? Bengals. That's a pretty good division.
That's a fantastic point about the AFC North. And that's where, if you were to ask me over again, I might change them, because we're looking at all 4 teams as teams that could potentially win the division. Maybe I would say the least likely is the Steelers, but we're talking about the Bengals. You can point to them not having their quarterback for a lot of the year as to why they fell off. With the Cleveland Browns, imagine them with this defense in which they pretty much have everybody back, with like guys like Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, with a full season of Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb, along with the addition of Jerry Jeudy as the wide receiver 2 to Amari Cooper. We know that the Ravens are at least a regular season wagon consistently. So I don't have any I don't think that they're not going to make the playoffs. And then the Steelers, think about it. They've got a really talented defense. They've got a talented, in a lot of ways, offense. I like George Pickens a lot as wide receiver 1. They had a pretty damn good draft. And either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, they're going to be better than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
So there's a pathway to all of them potentially winning the division. So I might change my answer if I were given this again. So good work to you, Broder.
Yeah, honestly, seeing the AFC North there, that's the team to me that I believe, if this was a power rankings, has probably the highest possibility to end up number 1 by the end of by the end of this year. Like when you look at all the teams here, they're the ones that traditionally are the toughest. And with the Browns now coming off the year that they just had, I'm like, you know what? That is a sneaky good division there. But I still go with my NFC North Detroit Lion-led division. Why? Because whether the wins are there or not, all those teams still beat up on each other. Game after game after game, and we see our division opponents go and make it tough for other teams that we know are coming up on our schedule as well. So whether the wins or not, whether we know that we want to, FTP, FTB, FTV, I still believe in the black and blue division, which is the NFC North. The Packers and the Lions, they make it, in my opinion, a very, very top-heavy division to go up against, and we saw that last year in the playoffs. The NFC North, they raked in the playoffs. And I believe that they're going to have that same type of effect this year. But the king of the NFC North hails from the NFC West, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. Their team from top to bottom, and I know some people out there believe that the Cardinals could be one of those trap games for the Detroit Lions and that they could have a sneaky good season. Obviously, the strength of their division, to me, it rests and lies on who the Cardinals will be this season. But overall, I have nothing bad to say about the Rams and the 49ers. And the Seahawks beat the Seahawks, Detroit Lions. But up until this point, they have absolutely got this kind of they got Aaron Glenn in some type of sorcerer's hold, bro. And it's something that he has to figure out. I just want to see a win. I don't even care if it's a blowout. I don't even care if it's an ugly game. Just beat them. But for right now, the Seahawks, for whatever reason, they are in my brain implanted the same way that LeBron James's 25 straight points is, and I have to respect them. And so that's the way that the rankings played out for me. But, Broder, I think you are on to something with your number 1 team.
So NFC West versus AFC East.
I was going to ask you about that.
That was our difference. I think with my thoughts that the Jets are going to be, I don't know, I'm not calling for them to win the division yet, but I think if healthy, they have as good a roster as just about anybody in the NFL. So I think pairing that with the Bills, with the Dolphins and their high-powered offense, the Patriots are arguably the worst team in the NFL. So I get why you might want to leave them off this list, but I have the AFC East as the third best or the third toughest division over the NFC West, over the 49ers, the Rams, Seahawks, and the Cardinals.
That's a 2-team division, though. The AFC East.
No, the AFC East?
Yeah.
You don't think the Jets are going to be involved?
No.
Or the Bills or the Dolphins?
The Jets and the Dolphins, but that's it. Like,
you don't think the Bills are going to be there?
No.
I told you hated Josh Allen.
I don't hate
You do hate Josh Allen.
No, I do not.
You do.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. I don't hate any other quarterback in the NFL but Aaron Rodgers. But I just don't believe in the Bills. I believe their window is closed. So to me, it's a 2-team race in that division. That's just me.
See, I think it's a 2-team race as well, and I think the Dolphins aren't going to make the playoffs. See, I get it. When you have Mike McDaniel and you have Tua and you've got Waddle and Hill, they're automatically going to win some games just because of that. And if you want to throw an A-chain as well, fine.
And an improved defense.
See, I disagree. I think their defense is not improved.
It's to be determined for sure. Like, they got some nice looking pieces. Like, when we talk about drafting Chop Robinson, like, that looks good on paper and everything.
Yeah.
But we got to see it.
I feel you.
Yeah, and the thing you have to remember, too, is that Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb are both coming off of Achilles injuries.
That's true.
They lost Van Ginkel. They lost Christian Wilkins. I understand they still got guys like Javon Holland. He's a damn good safety. I get that. It's just, to me, the Dolphins, they're one of those teams that if you put them if you give them some tough road games, especially later in the year when they have to play in the cold, they are going to wilt like warm lettuce, just like they did in the playoffs, just like they did when they had a chance to beat the Bills to win that division so they could avoid going to Kansas City in negative degree temperatures, and they couldn't do it. They're soft as baby dookie. That's what they are. They're finesse. I mean,
they'll make the playoffs and lose in first game again.
I get it. There are times where they are going to look like the most beautiful brand of basketball on grass you'll ever see. But basketball on grass, as you've seen with a team like Ohio State when it comes to the bigger games, it doesn't always work when you go against tough physical teams in tough environments. So to me, the Dolphins are a team that win 9 or 10 games and barely miss the playoffs.
I love it. I love it. When I was putting this together or thinking of this, I'm glad you guys came with the answers you came with or the rankings you had, because I'm curious now what your thoughts are on the AFC South, because I noticed the Lions, who we all have picked to win either the first or the second toughest division, they have 8 games against the NFC West, which you guys both had in your top 3, Flannel at number 3, Kool-Aid at number 2. But then the AFC West, they have 4 games in a row. The Titans in week 8, Texans in week 10, I believe, then the Jaguars and the Colts. 8 games against the AFC South and NFC West. And again, we have the Lions as the best team in the first or second best division. How do you feel about this schedule? I mean, it's all preseason rankings, so how tough it is, we'll see in about 10 weeks into the season, but this to me paints a pretty good picture of the Lions really belong at the top of these power rankings in the conversation of a deep playoff run, a Super Bowl run. They're legit.
Yeah, they're going to earn it, man. This is a big boy schedule, but I do believe the Detroit Lions are a big boy team and that they're going to aptly handle this year with a leader like Dan Campbell. And they upgraded their leadership at the positional coaching positions. I don't believe the Lions are going to slip at all. You look at the players that they locked in for a long time here, from Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown. These are Penei Sewell. These are guys who have played through all of the noise. Aiden Hutchinson. These are guys that I know are going to I know are going to take that next step forward. And Lee McNeil's already looking like that contract year bump is already in his veins. It's already in the bloodstream, man. So it's like I'm looking forward to it, but you know what? The AFC South, when you did send that text over like, hey, guys, let's rank these divisions, the AFC South is the one that I thought I was doing a little bit dirty, especially with the Texans kind of leading the way there. And I think they have some promise, at least with the first 2 or 3 teams. The Jaguars, I don't know how much you can really go and trust in them from year to year, but they do have some promise there. But this is a schedule in which the Lions are going to earn every bit of this NFC North Division title. They're going to earn every bit of their playoff appearance as well.
It's funny because you mentioned that the difficulty of the Lions' schedule might correlate directly with how the AFC South is. And you mentioned it in the prep. The Texans, they came on, and we all know that at least with the foundational pieces that they've had, along with their attempts to improve the team, like getting Danielle Hunter, for example, to put opposite Will Anderson, my goodness, they look like they're probably here to stay, at least as a consistent playoff team, maybe as a team that could even contend for the Super Bowl in the next couple of years. It all depends to me on how the Jaguars and the Colts, how they fare this season. I'm higher on Trevor Lawrence than some. I know there's a lot of people that are ready to throw him in the trash right now. I'm not there. I'm not there quite yet. This is a big season for him. It's imperative that he bounces back, especially if he's healthy the whole year, and I think that he will personally. And with the Colts, it kind of depends on Anthony Richardson. I understand he was out last year and Gardner Minshew did a pretty serviceable job as the backup, but the future of this franchise is Anthony Richardson. And if you can have him healthy, which he looked pretty good at times when he was healthy last year, Jonathan Taylor in the backfield and a guy like Michael Pittman to throw the ball to with some good offensive linemen and a solid defense, the Colts could be a 9-10 win team too. The Titans, I don't think they're going to be a threat at all personally just yet.
Man, I can't wait though. This is a season in which I'm not worried about the fact that this schedule is so tough, and I've seen other fans kind of lament about that. I got to go to our booth, or just to KG real quick, man.
Yeah.
about the Lions schedule. How you feeling, man? Stoked, scared, somewhere in between?
You know I'm stoked, man. Everybody keeps talking about this is a tougher schedule, but I believe this is a tougher team, especially with the additions that they made on the defensive end of the ball this year. So the offense already notwithstanding, already being great. I really see this team going far, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk. You guys brought up the AFC South. While I do believe that is also a two-team division, they face the two best teams in that division. And, of course, the NFC West, a gauntlet, man. So the Lions have the work cut out. But as long as they can stay healthy, I think they fare good in a lot of these games and should be favored in a lot of these games as well.
You know, and I know we're going to get into Detroit Lions training camp next. I'm going to get JB-Smoov's take on the divisions right out the break, and then we'll jump right into training camp. But I appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with Wake Up Woodward and really kicking off every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. with us. We appreciate it. It's one of the best things. I can speak for the crew. It's one of the best things we look forward to for all of us. So thank you guys for supporting us. Hit that like button. And do that for all the Woodward Sports Network, including Big The Energy, 11-1 right after our show. 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty alongside his co-host, the golden voice Neil Rule. After that, you got Armani and Edwards with Maz. Maz away. University of Michigan, former University of Michigan legend and NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards alongside Detroit Media King, Fox 2 Ryan Armani. Then 5 to 7, you got the big fellas, the Woodward Heavyweights. Speak Easy, baby. Alongside his co-hosts, Spinmo Racks and their elite booth, Nick Koloff and Chris Platty. They're bringing you the biggest laughs, breakdowns, and interviews. That is the Woodward Heavyweights. Thank you guys for making Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports outlet.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen above my head or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We love y'all, chat family, man. You know what? Go on ahead. What up, though, Broder? How you feeling? I like you too, Broder.
I like Mason too.
That was a good one, Mason. I like it.
Need you guys go ahead and hit that like button. Treat it right, man. Go ahead and satisfy that like button. You guys already know what it is. Hey.
Hold on, let me turn this mic on. You know we was waiting for it. Hey, Kool-Aid, go ahead and serenade these people one time with that phone out real nice and slow, and go ahead and just tap that light.
On vibrate.
Appreciate it.
What?
Oh my God. Wild man over here.
Vibrate?
But hey, look, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the crew. About to jump into some Detroit Lions training camp. I got to get Woodward Sports MVP take on this Detroit Lions schedule, man. It's a tough one, but how you feeling?
I mean, it's a tough one, but then again, what were you going to expect? Just a soft schedule once again?
Nothing flaccid around here.
Oh, my God. Hey, look, they know the job and the task that's at hand right now. Like, they know it's not going to be easy getting back to that same spot that we were this past season. A lot of teams got better, but at the same time, we got better as well, too. So they know the job that's at hand. Hey, just put your head down, just grind. All grit, baby. You got this.
Exactly. You know what? Of course, other teams took steps forward. Of course, other teams made moves to try and improve themselves, but the Detroit Lions got better, too. You know what? It's been chippy. Yeah. It's been chippy at training camp. I'm sure everybody's seen the videos at Woodward Sports Socials, has blasted it everywhere. I know some of the other shows have had the highlights as well. Mm-hmm. It's been physical. The joint practice between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants has been absolutely on one. Word to Eduardo O'Neal. And with the physicality, though, you know what? We got to start with some of the injury concerns, man. Where's your level of concern for guys like Kevin Zeitler, shoulder, Terrion Arnold, who was under concussion protocol after that practice with the Giants?
As long as they're good for I'll start with Kevin Zeitler because he's a guy who's been famously as durable as they come in the NFL as throughout his entire career, and that was one of the advantages of picking up a guy like him and then letting a guy like Jonah Jackson walk, who was more injury prone, and we already saw him get an injury that might keep him out of their Week 1 matchup at Detroit. So with Kevin Zeitler, as long as I hear that it's not anything serious, I'm kind of just like, he knows how to manage it. He'll be fine. When you hear Terrion Arnold and head injury, it's a little bit concerning. I would like him to get more time because he is a rookie. But to me, it's more about, are they going to be available when the season starts? Are they going to be available for the last couple of preseason games? I'm not going to press the panic button just yet. And when it comes to Kevin Zeitler, no concern whatsoever.
No concern. And I think that you properly parsed that by pointing out, really, the only thing to be of concern is the fact that Terrion Arnold, as a rookie, you want him to get as many reps as possible with the ability to learn right now, especially while they're doing these joint practices. It's teams in other colors, no longer Honolulu blue. It's teams in that red, white, and blue New York Giant jersey, and you're able to go out there and do work. There we go. Hey, JB-Smoov cooking up, man. The physicality has been on one. I love what Amon-Ra St. Brown has been. I saw another one. J-Mo was out there as well getting busy. That confidence level. Penei Sewell was out there getting busy. Everybody was getting busy. KG.
What up?
Have you seen these videos yet, man?
Oh, of course I have, man. It's more like a gang fight instead of a damn open practice, man. I don't know what the hell was going on yesterday. But all in all, I agree with Sam in the aspect of you want them to be ready by, the first game of the season. So that's the most important thing. As far as Terrion, the concussion, I'm the reverse of Sam. I'm not necessarily worried about that. He's not somebody who's had a concussion history. He should be able to shake this off and be ready by week 1. With Kevin Zeitler, although he is a warrior, he is somebody who battles through injuries and keeps it going. I don't want him to have to deal with a nagging shoulder injury for 17 games this season. That's something that, it's tough, especially when you're playing the offensive line position at guard. You're going to have to use your arms a lot, use that shoulder a lot. So I just really hope that is something that doesn't last a whole lot of time. But he is a warrior, and he should be able to play through it. They should both be fine.
And Broder, I got to get your take on this. Because Zeitler, Arnold, obviously we got the Emmanuel Mosley news as well. Do you have any concern with the intensity or just how aggressive the Detroit Lions, we know how they are when they just practice alone, as well as now these joint practices?
Yeah, I don't. I think these two are going to be fine. I still expect them to play. Zeitler to start week 1, maybe even Terrion Arnold. And I'm not worried about the physicality or the scuffles until you start getting, not veterans, but guys possibly on the Giants that, have been have moved around the NFL a lot, don't really have a role, and they're just kind of, hiding in the back of these scuffles, throwing punches at our star players worth $30 million. Like, if you can play that one more time, you'll notice Breon Borders, who logged one snap, I think, for the Bears in 2022. You'll see him. I put a little arrow on him in this video, just throwing punches, acting like a coward on the outside of the scuffle.
Talk to him, Broder. This has been the week of spicy Broder.
Talk to him. Punches are thrown. Look at that cowardly shit.
Guys with nothing to lose.
Punches are thrown.
Talk about it.
Scuffles happen, and that's okay. I like that. But none of this crap. Like, you scuffle with the guy you're facing head-to-head. Like, you're looking eye-to-eye against a man, and then you're scuffling, you're pushing.
That's
just
trash.
like Amon-Ra St. Brown did right when the guy poked the ball out. You're making eye contact. But this trash of this cornerback who's looking for a team, this is on film now. I hope other teams see that and stay away from this clown. So that's the only thing I worry
Broder
about.
out here doing good work.
That's the only thing I worry about in physicality. Obviously, Breon Borders isn't going to play this year for the Giants because he blows. But the secondary, there were concerns coming out of camp yesterday, not just Giants media, but the media in general, saying the Giants wide receivers, they're pass catchers. They had their way with the Lions secondary.
Yeah,
we did see some good plays. Melifonwu broke up a Malik Neighbors pass, a nice route that the Neighbors ran. But the sum of the reports out of training camp yesterday that the Lions secondary struggled. Does that worry you guys? Is that par for the course day one against a new offense? What do you think?
I'm not as worried. And if you look at this thing from the other way as well, and you look at the highlights, what do you see? You see Jameson Williams running into the end zone, pointing and waving at a Giants defender in the secondary as well. It was something that seemed to be happening on both sides for the offense, just absolutely getting behind the defense. And I wonder how much of that has to do with the level of aggression that you are able to have with pressuring the quarterback in these types of settings. Because if I'm Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil and I'm trying to rip the quarterback's head off, I think that's just a little bit different than trying to beat my guy off the blocks and the quarterback knowing I have all day, or I have a certain aspect of this game where I can sit in and knowing that the cornerbacks, after 6 to 8 seconds, they're not going to be able to cover, then I can just launch it down the field.
Yep.
That, to me, is more or less what it has seemed like, at least from what I've seen on the footage. But, Flannel.
So this is where everything's going to come a little full circle, because I'm all about no training camp victory laps. I'm also about no training camp doomsday speak as well. And I get it. Nobody is saying that it means that the Lions secondary is going to be terrible. Let's cancel the season or anything like that. I'm just saying that at this point in training camp, especially when you're a Lions secondary that is playing together with this unit in a very sort of new stage with a couple of rookies, I'm not going to worry too much about them losing some reps against the Giants. Just if it persists into later on in training camp, if it persists during practices during game week in which you're not even going to be practicing against another team, then I'll worry a little bit. If I see Puka Nacua going off for $150 and the Rams win week 1, then I'll be really concerned. But as of right now, it's just joint practices in early August. I'm not going to look too much into it.
Yeah, and you know what? Because that's the thing. They have to stop. I get last year they had this bend but don't break defense, but you saw some otherworldly performances by wide receivers week in and week out against the Detroit Lions defense, and that's something that I believe you have to contain. Why? Because when you get into those pressure-packed, cooker type situations, what happens in the playoffs when that other team knows that they can pick apart your secondary?
I mean, it's funny because, and usually it means that you're in big trouble. The thing about last year's Lions team, which was so funny, is that Puka Nacua destroyed the Lions. Mike Evans destroyed the Lions. And the Lions still won. Which means that with this secondary and this defensive line, which I think we all agree are upgraded at both units, maybe, and I get it, it's not just a perfect correlation. Maybe in those earlier round playoff games, we won't be sweating so much. I get it. We can't just implant this secondary and this defensive line back into last year's matchup.
Why were we sweating going into both of those matchups?
Because the secondary.
Because of
we were like, oh god,
we
were like, oh my goodness, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Lions might be in trouble. They were in trouble with a Puka Nacua. Oh my god, Mike Evans, the Lions are going to be in trouble. They were in trouble with Mike Evans, but it didn't matter.
All right,
it didn't matter because the Lions still came out victorious.
Man, all season between the 20s, but in the red zone they were very, very stout. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, with the improvements that they've made, man, through free agency and what we hope is going to be through the draft with Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw, I'm confident that this team has enough in them to stop those types of performances, receivers getting 200, 150 yards and whatnot. Like, slow that all the way down. And I know, KG, you've been very, very bullish, very, very bullish on the secondary, especially the rookies. Even before the draft officially commenced, you were very, very bullish on Terrion Arnold and Rakestraw.
Sure was. I mean, if you worried about training camp, them getting burned in training camp, you probably shouldn't watch regular season NFL football because I don't know how you gonna stomach it.
It only matters for real when J-Mo is burning people.
Oh man, J-Mo was looking nice too. I hope you get ready for that jersey. Get your size ready. Get your size ready.
It all comes full circle again. It all comes full circle again.
Look at J-Mo. Looking good.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh my God.
Wave at him. Wave at him.
Yeah.
Look at him. Wave at him.
Oh man.
You're gonna see a lot of
Here's
that.
what I was talking about earlier.
You're gonna see a lot of that this year.
I want to preface this by saying I think Jameson Williams will have over 1,000 yards from scrimmage, just so you guys know. But when it comes to the Lions getting, having some trouble with the Giants in a joint practice, their Lions secondary, it's like, oh my God, it's not even a little bit of a deal. It's no concern whatsoever. You know what? It's actually proof of how great the Lions will be. When Jameson Williams is doing work in training camp, it's like, oh my God, put him in the Hall of Fame already.
No,
oh
it's
my
not.
God, he's Tyreek Hill, but better.
I'm going to tell you what it is.
What is it then?
It's go on NFLshop.com and put that jersey in your cart. That's what the fuck it is.
So you're training camp victory lapping. Do you want me to training camp doomsday? Oh my God, they couldn't even stop the Giants. The quarterbacks couldn't even stop the Giants.
Anyway.
Neither is a good idea.
Listen, and while I get you, I'm just saying, just prepare yourself. That's all I'm saying to you.
Right.
But just looking out for a good friend.
Exactly. But as far as the secondary, I mean, people got to realize these guys are rookies. It is going to take time for them to gel, especially throughout the regular season. So they're not just going to come in and be Revis Island and Sauce Gardner like the second coming. Like, it's not going to happen like that. But at the same time, they are working out the kinks in training camp as we speak. Yeah. They are going to look better as the season goes along. And they are rookies. They're not going to make every single play. But if you're comparing this to last year, I'm sorry, it's not even close. It's gonna look so much better just based off the fact that we have players that actually fit this AG scheme now. So I don't have any worries about the secondary, especially now. Just stay healthy. That's all I need them to do.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're gonna really put anything out there as it relates to their official schemes and such. But you do want to see these guys be able to start to win a little bit more of their one-on-one matchups. So I do want to see that a little bit more. But JB, before we continue this training camp talk in the next segment, any concern for you with the secondary? Or is it just training camp?
It's just training camp. We got to relax about this. Look, they're out there, and as KG said, the rookies, they're going to make some mistakes. But at the same time, it is just training camp. They're trying to get an idea and a feel of other teams out there, what they're doing and what they're going up against. It's just relax, calm down. There's nothing major to be concerned about right now at this moment, besides the whole Emmanuel Mosley injury. But other than that, just relax. It's training camp. They'll get it figured out. Trust me.
They're going to get it figured out. Just like we already know, Jameson Williams has it figured out, and that's awesome. But let me tell you about something else that's awesome. It's when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut.
Facts.
That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. All you got to do is walk in anytime, sit back and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. I already told y'all, walk in anytime, 7 days a week. It's Lady Jane's, and it is wicked awesome.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It is 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because it is technology that is backed by people. In your safety and security, it is our technology that's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off today with the WUW Crew. We got everybody in the building. Once again, welcome to Chase. He is the WUW Crew intern, and I know that he's going to definitely work his way up the ranks. He's excited to be here. We're excited to have you here too, brother. But we got to get into Michigan football. There's been a lot of noise and a lot of chatter. On one side of this thing, it's the kiss the ring. Yeah. On the other side, it's, hey, you guys have to pay for your crimes. Bar King?
Alleged.
Do I?
Yeah.
You heard those bars?
I approve.
There you go. I set that up last night. But we got Flannel Sam on the show, so it's only appropriate that we break this thing down. And from a standpoint that is as unbiased as possible.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, this is a real thing. It's a serious thing. They believe that the notice of allegations from the NCAA against Michigan, which include having proof that Connor Stallions was on the sideline, having proof of Sharon Moore deleting over 52 text messages between he and Connor Stallions. What does any of this mean to you?
Well, with the Sharon Moore text, they were able to be recovered, and he did hand them over to whoever the enforcement officials or whatever you want to call them. And Connor Stallions is also alleged to have scouted or sent people to scout 58 games between 58 different times between 2021 and 2023. Those are just allegations. The official notice hasn't even came out yet. We're just going off of the reports of the leak from Dan Murphy and Pete Thamel.
Yeah.
My reaction to all of this is, and I'm going to give a Cliff Notes version of what I said on Big D Energy yesterday, is that as a Michigan fan, I wish that in a perfect world, this was a national championship in which there wasn't all of this surrounding it, in which we could all just kumbaya, the rivals and everybody could just give us our respect and our validation, and that's all well and good. However, the fact that that's obviously not happening has made it to where myself and a lot of other Michigan fans have had to become more comfortable with wearing the black hat, because no matter what happens, there are going to be fans with other teams, particularly in Michigan State and Ohio State, that will always have something to say about it.
Always.
Well, their engagement numbers on social media, they go through the roof if they talk about
JB's
Michigan.
just over there smirking. JB, what are you laughing for, JB?
No. I'm okay. Let Flannel finish, and then I'll get my take off on this whole thing.
Well, but what I
stop cheating, bro.
The way that I've had to recontextualize this, because to be clear, I'm just a football fan. I'm not somebody who wants to have to decipher all of this in that article. I did my best. I don't even know necessarily what it all means or what it's going to mean, what the punishment is going to be, and all of that. How I've had to recontextualize this as it comes to our rival fan base right now. And this is something that even somebody who you wouldn't think has encouraged me to do, Mr. Spenmo Rax.
One of our resident
indirectly
Spartans.
has kind of encouraged, I think, a lot of us Michigan fans, including myself, to look at it more as Michigan State right now. Think about where their football program is at. And I understand they got a new coach who people are high on. They got a new transfer quarterback, and they did pretty well in the transfer portal. However, Their last 2 seasons have been as miserable as you can possibly think. I compare them, Broder, to the 09 or 08-09 Michigan seasons, the first 2 under Rich Rod, where there were losing seasons, no bowl game, just getting smashed by rivals. I mean, in the last couple of seasons, 2 seasons, Michigan's beat Michigan State by a combined score of 78-7.
Beautiful.
If you're Michigan State right now, that's all they have. I would rather be in a position, and I'm just talking as a fan, not even as an alum, but as a fan, to where I am the fan of the team that won the national championship, that the fans and alums of Michigan State, who are a losing football program, are begging on their hands and knees for the NCAA to do something about. So Michigan is still in the position of power. I don't have to care what Michigan State fans think. I don't have to care what Ohio State fans think, because Ohio State, even though someone like Sean Baligian kind of disagreed with me, right now they're in a situation in which, regardless of what Ryan Day has done against damn near every opponent except Michigan or bowl games, done really, really well, Ohio State fans don't even like Ryan Day. Ryan Day
trying to tell you,
has turned Ohio State, at least as of right now, and he's a good coach, don't get me wrong, into a team that is largely basketball on grass. They were physical as hell under Tressel and under Urban Meyer. They took the Michigan game as seriously as possible, and they would oftentimes punch Michigan square in the mouth. That's not the case under Ryan Day. Under Ryan Day, Ohio State has lost 3 consecutive times. The one time they got a chance to play on the national stage and play in the college football playoff, they played Georgia really effing well, but they choked at the end. Their kicker choked, and I think Ryan Day choked in the play calling after C.J. Stroud had that big run. They basically set their kicker up for a 50-yard field goal where I thought they could have gotten it a little bit closer. My point in all of this is that Michigan is the national champions, and I'm never going to apologize for that. I don't really give a damn what happens. The NCAA or the powers that be are not going to take it away. I don't think there's enough there, and I don't think there will be enough there. So for me, all I have to say, and kind of repeat what I said before, is I would rather be the fan of the team that won it, and there's some cloud, versus, and I'll just use Michigan State as an example for this one, versus the team that is losing and just begging, oh my God, somebody take this championship away from Michigan, because
it's all some fan bases have to live with.
Well, right now it is kind of all Michigan State has. And Ohio State, their standard is winning national championships, and they're not. And Michigan has been the biggest impediment to that in the last 3 years. I understand they made the college football playoff in 22 regardless, but they didn't make it in 21 or 23. And as I said yesterday, Jim Tressel has a natty. Urban Meyer has a natty. Ryan Day doesn't have one. They all wish that they could be Michigan right now. Both Spencer Rakestraw and Sean Baligian said that they would take a national championship with all that comes around it. They wish that they were in the position as Michigan fans are right now. And I'll give you one more quick example. Ohio State, they had that whole scandal back then with Jim Tressel and the whole tattoo game. I think it was overblown, by the way. He probably shouldn't have been fired. I'm not going with this where you think, where people think that I am. So save it. Ohio State did have a season vacated. They had all of their wins vacated. I believe it was from 2010. And that was just another year where, as a Michigan fan, I had to watch a beatdown, which is basically what I saw for most of my fandom as a Michigan fan. I didn't take solace that season, I guess, didn't happen. I was just like, man, they're beating us, and that's all I care about. And that's what I think most MSU and Ohio State fans are thinking right now in their heart of hearts. They just want to win so bad, and they're so devastated of what's happened to them the past few years that this is kind of their only hope and all that they have.
You know how we recognize the desperate nature of it? Because we were there.
Yes.
We were there, and we did the same things. And so it's like, I got to be fair to that as a Michigan fan. But, hey, Broder, I don't know how you officially score pinch runner on third base, but I want that on the back, like where the nameplate is, of like Ohio State jersey, and put that in the frame.
Yeah.
That'll be the only Ohio State jersey I have to represent Ryan Day being born on third base.
Yeah, it's like on a scale from Lamar Jackson to Dak Prescott, like where does Ryan Day fall? This conversation's so interesting to me, and obviously the loudest people are the Spartans and the Buckeyes fans, but I have a hard time at this moment because, this news was broken by Pete Thamel. Like, there's some
Thamel.
there's something that just rubs me the wrong way about it. Like, this is all, I'm not saying a headhunt or a witch hunt. And to be clear, Michigan should be punished or accept any punishment that comes their way from any rules that were broken, no matter how small or big, or whether they gave them a competitive advantage or not. But you can't tell me that there's not at least a little bit of a smear campaign going on. Like this interview with Rich Eisen that Dan Murphy, the sidekick to Pete Thamel, was talking about. It's a lot of not even facts, things that are up in the air. It's a bunch of evidence that Connor Stallions, like specifically this guy, we don't know how far it stretched, how many people were involved at Michigan, but all of the evidence in this NOA, there's nothing about any current Michigan coach being involved in sign stealing and competitive advantage things. There's only 7 current staffers involved, 1 coach, Sharon Moore, whose name only comes up because of the 52 text messages that he deleted, but he has since turned over. They have all the information, all the text messages. There's nothing that connects him to Stallions and knowing about anything that Stallions was doing. That's all out there. Those 52 texts, they're all out there. Nothing points to him for any type of competitive disadvantages. We're talking about level 2 violations. It's just very confusing. Like, why leak this now? Why report this now? You listen to this interview, confusing. It's like, hey, this dude, Dan Murphy, doesn't expect a lot of changes when the formal NOA gets issued to Michigan. Because to be clear, nothing has been sent to Michigan yet. They don't know what's in this. This is all Pete Thamel and Dan Murphy and their speculation on what it could be. They say this is going to be a long, drawn-out process, but they also say we don't expect before it comes out any details to be changed. We think it's all out there. So why not issue it now? Why are we waiting until right before the season, which they're expecting to come out in a couple weeks? Like, we all know what they're doing here. We all know why it's leaking on ESPN and why it's Pete Thamel. Why are we giving this guy any credibility? Why aren't we waiting until it's actually issued and we see what all the fuss is about? I was just curious if it's more talked about here in the Midwest or in Michigan because of social media and in Michigan State and Ohio State blowing it up. Are others around the country like waiting to see like, oh, this is much ado about nothing?
And I hint to that your sarcasm when you say, man, this is confusing. And it's like, it's not. How it looks, if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, what are we going to call it, a duck? And right now, based on all of the things that you've just stated, it does seem as if, you know what, there's a little bit of, hey, let's try and put a little bit of a stain, just a little bit of a dark cloud over Michigan's parade. Why? Because this isn't the first time we've seen this. There's been witch hunts after Michigan and after their coaches, namely Jim Harbaugh, by national media for years. Yeah. For years we've seen this, man. Even to the point that when Michigan did win a national championship, all we heard from media everywhere was to make sure they let us know consistently, oh, well, y'all split that championship.
Yeah.
Well, anybody who says that's an idiot, I'm sorry. Yeah. Because back in the day, there's nothing you could do about it. There was actually no national championship game. I know it's funny to think about, but up until I believe 98 or 99, there was really no national championship game. It was just Michigan was contractually obligated to play in the Rose Bowl, and Nebraska played in another game. They never got a chance to play each other. So the reality is that Michigan did everything that they could possibly do to win that national championship, and I guess Nebraska did as well. You'll never quite know, but anybody who besmirches it by saying it's half a national champion is an idiot. Doesn't understand.
I want to get our Sparty's take on this one as well, man. JB-Smoov is in there.
Get your shit off.
He's in there seething a little bit.
Get your shit off.
Come on,
I don't know why, because they're not even involved. Someone tell me why.
That's the thing too. We're not even involved about the whole thing, and no matter what everyone sits here and says, it's the only thing that Spartans can hold their hope on. It's like, we don't care. And well,
you sure about that?
Yeah, are you sure? Go look on social media.
Apparently
you got some
everyone,
tough representatives of your fan base.
Yeah, the fan base, everyone is upset about it. Yes, I get it. I understand. Like, you don't want this to be their national championship if they sat here and cheated. But as a Spartan and a Spartan fan, in my personal opinion, I don't care. I literally do not care, because you know what? Look, nothing can take away those wins and that national championship from Michigan. Those players went out there and earned that. Like, I'm not gonna disclaim anything about that at all. But this fact goes straight to the NCAA. If you think and sit here and can say that all the viewers and all these football fans are just so naive and so dumb that we don't think cheating is going on everywhere in the country, come on. The saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, is truly true. It is real. Somewhere, somehow, every national college, there is some cheating going on. It's just the only thing that's wrong is like, if it doesn't benefit the NCAA, then of course they're not going to come down extremely hard on any of these college programs at all. That's why I think Michigan is just going to get a little tiny slap on the wrist, because there's no huge evidence to sit here and point directly to say that they cheated at all. Sharon Moore is being respectful and giving all these text messages to the NCAA. Say, look, this is what I have. This is what it is right here. That's it. That is it. There's nothing that's going to take away those wins in this national championship. But what I will say is that Jim Harbaugh, you have got to stop talking about this. Yes, you were the coach last year, but you are now over with the Chargers. Please stop mentioning it. Stop bringing it up. When they ask you questions about it, don't say anything. Say, hey, look, I'm not commenting on it, anything like that. Because the statement that you said yesterday about the whole thing, about being unapologetic and everything like that is cool. But also the statement sounds a little sleazy as well, too. Just stop talking about it. You made your decision. You're with the Chargers. You're not with U of M right now. You won a national championship. Leave that alone. Leave that over there. Focus on your players that you have right now in the NFL. But other than that, that's it. Just leave it alone. Walk away from it. But on the top of everything, no one cares, because we know every college program is doing something dirty. It's just not brought to light.
All right, so JB is like literally the best Spartan fan that I know. Literally, I mean, that's what we know about JB. He loves the Spartans, but you always bring in an unbiased and I believe a balanced take to this thing. And I like your spin on college football as well in terms of where it's been. We know that before Michigan ever won a national championship, we all understood the teams that did, what was going on.
Like, come on, you think that Alabama isn't sitting out here cheating? Come on, the whole time Nick Saban has been there, there's been some dirty shit going on, but no one wants to talk about it because those revenue dollars keep rolling in for the NCAA and everything that they don't care. That's it.
JB is cooking right now. He's cooking right now.
Yeah.
But go.
We'll talk about it once the facts and the details actually come out, which they haven't, by the way. A leaked draft got in the hands of Pete Thamel. Yeah. That's what they write this article on. Once it comes out, once things happen, we'll talk about it. We'll admit to whatever is found. I have no problem running from that. Yeah. It's just this banter, just to talk, and respectfully, if I'm Jim Harbaugh and I'm asked that question, and I truly didn't do anything, or I believe, I'm going to stand on business and defend my integrity. Like there's a lot of evidence that points directly to Connor Stallions. This dude, I don't know what his whole plan with all this was. There's a lot of evidence pointing to him and his network and what he was trying to do, but none that points directly towards the U of M coaches benefiting from it. And if that comes out, yes,
I'm not going to lie.
Admit to it, but man, why can't we wait till it's official?
Yeah, but you already know why. It's what you've already said. There's no confusion here. There are a lot of people out there who dislike the fact that Michigan did things the way that they wanted to do it. They called their shot and they went out there and they ran over everybody on their way to this thing, man. There was nothing that could slow them down. You know, I know that people want to look at the games and say, well, not every game was a blow-up. I'm sorry, they lost their head coach for 6 of those games. I know Michigan teams in the past who would have absolutely cratered if they lost their head coach for one of the most important games of the season. That Michigan team, they were set up like a tank, and we all wondered, is this something that's going to be longevity for the Michigan Wolverines? Then all of a sudden you see Sharon Moore go out there and have a hell of an offseason, a hell of a recruiting period. Then all of a sudden you got to start to drum up the noise a little bit more. Why? Because you know at Ohio State, it's not as easy as you probably thought it was going to be. There were so many people who thought it was going to be a cakewalk of a season, and now I'm hearing tight butthole syndrome from them all. I mean, a lot of people who are like, you know what? Michigan's a little bit better than all of us believe. I wonder how that shakes out. Now all of a sudden we're getting all of this weird stuff through the media. That's why I'm glad that at least the Michigan Mafia has what they have. Have they always been right? No. But in this case, I agree 100% with Broder. Let's let the facts come out. And the one thing I know is I trust the integrity of everybody in this room. If the Michigan Wolverines, if they deserve to be put down, I don't think anybody in this room is going to say, you know what, no. I see what the findings are, but nah, we'll just excuse that type of stuff.
I don't think it's going to play out that way.
Me neither.
Me personally. I think that they're going to receive a punishment. I could see even a suspension for Sharon Moore, but I don't think that anything is going to be taken away. You even saw Pete Thamel and Paul Feinbaum on ESPN basically say as much.
Yep.
And that's kind of all I care about. I'm a football fan. I'm not the morality police. I'm not even an alum. So the fact that they won a national championship is kind of all I really care about. If there's some punishments, if there's some stain to some, I've just had to learn to not let it bother me because it's a national championship. If you want to say that it's a national championship, but there's some taint around it, you still have to say national championship, and that's it's beautiful, man. I think I've almost taken for granted how much I wanted this for so many years, how much I thought it was something that Michigan fans couldn't have, and now we have it.
Do people know that there's no amount of crying, there's no amount of trying to zing or troll that will take away that feeling?
Oh, no, there isn't.
This doesn't, like, right now, there's not much that compares.
And trust me, I hate, and I know we're way past the break, but I got to get this in. I hate the fact, or I hated the fact that state fans in particular feel emboldened to chirp a lot. I don't like that at all. But as I said before, you just have to, say that it doesn't matter because they are not in the position of power. They have been a terrible football program the past 2 years who are basically trying to use whatever comes out as reasons to invalidate Michigan's season. And I get it. If there's some things that Michigan did that were valid, I understand that. I think that that'll probably play out to be true, but that's not a position that I as a fan want to be in. I want to be the fan base of a team that actually wins a national championship, not one that's 4-8 with the promise that with a new coach, with a new quarterback, that they might get to a bowl game this year. And please, NCAA, do something. That's not where I want to be.
Not at all.
So that's why you don't have to pay them any mind. It doesn't matter.
You know what? Well said. We're going to get into this next segment. I got to tease something here. So hold your answer, Broder. But the question from Glenn Jacobs, are you related to young Ron Jeremy? Don't answer now. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in any extra fees.
Take that.
You can call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That number 313-530-1698 or visit them online, swissins.com, and let them know that Woodward Sports Center.
But just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Somebody say merge? Look, head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week, but I gotta tell you about the ones we got up on screen right here. We got the Stoke Not Scared. You know the season is coming. You can't be scared. You also got the hashtag Boo Them Kids.
Boo the children.
Especially for Matthew Stafford coming on Sunday Night Football, baby. And you also got the Woodward Tigers as well, too. Got a couple more games left to go. But, hey, stop by. Grab yourself a Woodward Tigers shirt at woodwardsports.com. All you got to do is click on that shop tab and get swagged out.
Get swagged out. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the crew. And we're talking a little bit of college football. It's right around the corner. Football in general. It's in the air. Detroit Lions training camp. And Michigan football, the national champions, who I believe are being disrespected. Broder pointed out some pretty key things as it relates to all the noise surrounding the Counter Stallion news that we haven't seen anything yet. And so what matters, realistically, is the cool, calm, collected nature in which you have. Kiss the rings. We got a season ahead of us. Do you have any worry about this team, or are you feeling kind of confident about what they can be this season?
I mean, if there's any worry, it's with the offense as related to the quarterback and the offensive line. This season is coming with a different set of expectations than last year, which last year really was natty or bust, and they got it done. This season, with their schedule, given what they lost, and I talked about this a little bit on BDE yesterday, if they can have a 10-2 regular season and make the playoff, that to me is a rousing success. And do I think that they have what it takes to get that done? Yes, I do. Most notably with that defense and even offensively. And Broder, you've actually brought this up before, and I'm so glad that you did, because now I can kind of use a little tone as well. Now all of a sudden, J.J. McCarthy's a big loss. I was told all he ever did was hand the ball off 40 times. I know we talked about it before. I mean, Alex Orji can do that. Jack Tuttle can do that. Davis Warren can do that. But no, seriously.
I was told.
Yes. The point is that it is a bigger loss than people think. Alex Orji, I think he's probably the most talented. We know that he can be a force running the ball, but we don't know if he can be an accurate passer. Jack Tuttle, I don't believe, has ever been a starter in his career. Davis Warren, I mean, and then Jaden Davis is a freshman. So the quarterback and the offensive line, that is the biggest concern. And that is why I don't think they are what I would consider anywhere near the favorites for a national championship. But I predict something like a 9-3, 10-2 type regular season. I think they have enough to get that done.
Yeah, quick little break, quick little pause. As reported just now from Justin Rogers, Terrion Arnold, actually it might have been on Dan Campbell's pre-practice press conference. Terrion Arnold is cleared to practice today.
Perfect.
Concussion protocols, no big deal.
Hype.
He's back.
Chase is hype.
He back. So
That's good news.
had to squeeze that in. I know everyone was worried about how serious that concussion might be. But no, Terrion Arnold's going to be a big piece of that secondary. And Flannel, let me know if we want to get into this topic or maybe save it for later in the week. But the Michigan secondary, I keep feeling like they're maybe getting slept on. But then when I was doing research around other Big Ten secondaries and national secondaries, I'm like, man, the number 4 ranking or 5, wherever you have them, I get it. I get it. There's some nasty secondaries on paper. Ohio State, Iowa, Oregon. How good is Michigan's secondary? And should it be ranked higher than Ohio State or Iowa, or are they clearly number 1 and 2?
I think they're a little bit behind Ohio State and Iowa, given Rod Moore's injury. If Rod Moore were healthy, I might put him over Iowa. It's just Makari Page and Quentin Johnson. Am I confident that they're going to give the safety production of what they got from the safeties last year? Not necessarily. I think they're good enough. I think they're good enough to play on this defense. And I think the other concern, or not really a concern, but the factor to whether or not Michigan's secondary can reach their ceiling, it's not Will Johnson. We all know he's the best corner in the country. It's whether or not one of the guys that they have in-house, or even one of the transfers that they brought in, like Amir Hall or Ricky Johnson, can turn into what Josh Wallace was last year, or an approximation of what Josh Wallace was last year. Because Josh Wallace, I know he wasn't one of the Michigan defensive players that got drafted, but he was really good last year as the CB2. And if somebody can step up, whether it's a transfer for someone they have in-house, and become that for Michigan, then I think maybe they can start to be on Iowa's tail, at least when it comes to their secondary. And if Rod Moore comes back, plus that happens, because Rod Moore might be able to come back late in the regular season, then they could even be approximating nipping on Ohio State's heels as far as secondaries go. But right now, Ohio State's clearly won, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you think the Big Ten, is it safe to say they have 6 in the top 10? Like, would they have 4 in the top 5? Like, how many teams of this Big Ten secondary, how many secondaries of the Big Ten teams are going to be there? Like, we're talking Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa, Oregon, Texas, and Wisconsin's supposed to have a pretty good secondary.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame's the one that I say has the ceiling to be the number 2 secondary in college football. They got Benjamin Morrison is going to be one of the first corners drafted in the next year's draft. He's somebody who, if anybody's nipping at Will Johnson's heels when it comes to the best corner in the country, it'd probably be Benjamin Morrison. I would say you can't count out Alabama with their safeties as well. You can't necessarily count out Georgia, led by Malachi Starks, but I would say Iowa and Ohio State indisputably are 2 of the top 5 secondaries in the country. And then Michigan, it just kind of depends. It depends on what they get out of their CB2. It depends on if Quentin Johnson can step up. It depends on if Rod Moore is coming back. But if you started out with Will Johnson, there's a lot worse starting points. And he alone is going to make this a damn good secondary from the beginning. And I didn't even mention Makari Page, who was a regular last year.
Definitely. JB, I know I'm not going to throw a shade on the Spartans. They're not going to be in the top 10, but I'm intrigued with Malik Spencer. I think he's a really good player. Is he someone that non-state fans should keep an eye out for? Are there any other secondary pieces up in East Lansing?
I mean, you're not going to throw any shade on the Spartans, but hell, let's cut the shit. Let's just be real about it.
Cut the shit.
Yeah, cut the shit. Let's be real about it. The defense has been terrible. They've been terrible as of lately, and let's be honest, the past 2 seasons they've ranked, 85th, 87th, or something ridiculously like that. This is like the bottom in the country. But what I can say, the bright spot, as you said, Malik Spencer has been great. He's been doing a lot of great things. I believe he's 9th ranked overall in the country for slot cornerbacks, which is positive, and that's a credit to his offseason training as well, too, studying in the film room, studying his opponent's tendencies, everything like that. A lot of credit goes to him, but he can't do it alone, and that's the help that's going to happen that they've tried to do this past offseason. Jonathan Allen, not Jonathan Allen, what am I talking about? The head coach of MSU right now, but they've went out and sat here and gone and found four cornerbacks through the transfer portal that are from Power 4 schools as well, too, that are honestly going to come in and compete this season as well, too, for that starting position, which I'm hoping that kind of sets a fire under all the players that are there right now. Goes to show that, hey, your spot can be replaced, so this might be a position where iron sharpens iron a little bit here, so where that they're competing as well too for a starting job as well. So that's all you can hope for as of right now. If anything doesn't happen at that, at least they have depth at that cornerback position as well too. So it's a positive on either side.
Yeah, and just from an outside perspective, Sparty point of view, how good do you believe Michigan is as it relates to that top 3? Do you believe that they can compete with Ohio State?
Oh, definitely. They definitely can compete. Like I said, you lost a lot of talent, but at the same time, it is that next man up mentality. And I don't think Sharon Moore is just going to just completely bottom out and just be like, oh, well, we lost a lot of players, so there's nothing we can do now. You'll definitely be competing with Ohio State. I don't really get what Ohio State has to offer. Like I said, I don't care for Ryan Day at all and his coaching style, but that's just me. But at the same time, it is going to be a battle.
You know what? Let's get to this man's what's cooking, because he's cooking right now.
Absolutely. Hey, but first, speaking of cooking, Mark White, when it comes to dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And Flannel, why don't you tell them about Soroki?
Hey, how could you not? Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Soroki just had their grand opening in Madison Heights. Be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you or go to Sorokis.com.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Armani and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. Even Flannel will put him in the Hall of Fame. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Also, how would you like to play the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? Register today, and you can round off our foursome at WUWsports.com or scan the code on the screen. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive. And we are back. Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. We got everybody in the building. JB-Smoov ended that last segment cooking. He's going to begin this segment cooking as well. Let's get into it, brother.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Bizzle.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What up, though?
What's going on? Broder, you know I got to come directly to you for this one,
Of course.
man. I got to let you know. You got to check out the handles on this, man.
5, 6.
This one bounced to right.
Okay.
Oh. Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Stunting.
You get bonus points for trick plays.
Oh, he's stuck.
Look at that.
And that was nice. I haven't seen that. That was nice.
He out there without a baseball cap, too. He's renegade out there.
Have you guys seen the Savannah Bananas game? They've been showing them on ESPN recently.
Really?
They're wild.
Are they the Globetrotters of baseball?
Yeah, kind of.
much.
Kind of. Even more satirical, though. They just do funny stuff. Like you get certain points for trick plays. I think at their home field, if a fan in Savannah, at their home field in Savannah, catches a foul ball, that counts as an out for the home team.
Oh, wow.
So there's like a whole
Interesting.
crowd element to it, too. It's wild.
So you can reach over and take away a home run.
Yeah, yeah. The umpire gets in it. Like he does some funny dances to call a strikeout. It's odd, but it's starting to catch on with social media and whatnot. These last 2 years, they've been selling out like crazy.
That's pretty slick. We got to actually find a way to go out there and see them because they look pretty impressive, if you ask me.
Hey,
But
Freddie
Flannel
Fresh said the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yep.
Oh, nice. But Flannel, I got to ask you. Someone said, this guy's got handles, this guy's got hands, I should say. I think we should sign him to the Lions, but let me know what you think.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Got it.
He really caught a watermelon with his elbow.
What?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Man, putting in work.
That's wild.
Wow.
Like how?
I don't even know. I don't even understand this at all. The physics of all this.
100% chance by the end of the week, we see Amon-Ra St. Brown trying this out.
Oh, yeah.
202.
Guaranteed.
202
Watermelons out of the jugs machine.
Yeah, it's a different type of jugs.
I hope this guy is doing well in life because with talent like that, got to put it to even better use than this. Although catching a bunch of those watermelons, it looks like.
Think they are.
He's happy.
That is extremely impressive.
Oh!
Why does he catch shit like? How does he do that?
Somebody get this clip to Amon-Ra right now.
Right.
Yes. Oh, he would definitely. John Brown would make him, even as a grown man, even as a Lions player. It's like, this is what you're doing next.
Quite impressive. Like I said, you might want to look at a football contract. But Broder, coming right back to you on this one as well too. You're not getting me out.
Oh, the Mario jump.
Oh my! Look at the third baseman's reaction.
Shoot! He's been. That's why you can't sell out. Don't dive for the tag. Just
I say he died.
Stand up.
The third baseman
Bend
was
your
sick.
legs.
Look at him.
slap
He's
the
sick.
tag down.
He's mad as hell. Smacking the ground.
And you guys will still slander Javi Baez.
He is sick.
He needs to watch some more Baez.
Watch some more
He
Baez.
needs a little more El Mago. Oh my word, that's awesome.
We need more of this in like actual baseball. People just diving over people. That'd be dope.
Extreme base.
Pretty slick if you ask me. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. You know what, you guys? I finally found out who has been stealing food out of my fridge.
Oh, if it's her, then.
I love Reese's out of the fridge.
She can steal food.
I heard you, KG.
Is that the fridge or the freezer?
It's the dog, of course.
Love her.
Oh, yo, that's awesome.
Won't chocolate kill that dog?
That's astute observation.
I mean,
Broder.
guess.
I don't know. Maybe she's crazy and she'll hold this against her man. And
That
need to
chocolate won't kill me.
Yeah, you need this guy to call KDK Law. I'm sick of great men getting chopped in half.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Go on,
God.
King.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it for
Damn
what's
right.
trending, you guys. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, girl was a snack. That's all I'm saying.
That's
Just saying, man. Who's the real snack here?
KG was like, so when is the girl getting snatched? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Hey, JB, cooking up as always.
Thank you.
Always. I know we got to get into the mailbag as well. I guess we'll have a few extra minutes for mailbag today.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Hey, but first, I have to tell you about Feldman, of course. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. They've got a location in Novi, in which us at Woodward Sports, we do shows there on a fairly regular basis. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. I got myself hooked up with a new car. Matt Broder did as well, so you guys do it as well. You'll get in and out in about 3.5 hours, which is not a long time for buying a car, with friendly, knowledgeable sales staff. And if you get lucky, if you're there on a lucky day, you could even come say hi to us, whether it's Wake Up Woodward or Big D Energy. Visit Feldman Chevrolet today.
Let's go.
Why don't we tell them about the Boys and Girls Club as well?
Hey, the Boys and Girls Club. How can you not talk about the Boys and Girls Club? Here we go. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
And we are back. It's Wake Up Woodward, and it is time for our mailbag segment, our Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment, presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. And we did get a little bit of news while Broder's getting those mailbag questions together, and you guys, Chat Family, get your mailbag questions in. You said per Justin Rogers, Sam Laporta is out with a hamstring.
You're muted.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Yeah, per Justin Rogers, Sam Laporta is being held out of today's practice with a little hamstring injury. Nothing major, so don't get too worried about it. It's just a little hamstring injury. I'm sure he'll be back tomorrow, but as of right now, he's out of practice for today.
Yeah, when we first heard the news, Broder was just like, it's training camp.
Yep.
It's training camp. Not much to be worried about. It just shows that these guys are working. That's what I can't wait to see, man. These guys on the field. First preseason game on the 8th and first home game against the Rams is just around the corner. But let's get into this mailbag. Hope you guys are getting your mailbag questions in. What you got for us, Broder?
Yeah, this is from Chuck Brewer. It started on social media, but we brought it here for you, Flannel. On a scale of Patrick Mahomes to Kirk Cousins, where does Dak Prescott land?
I would say that Dak Prescott is a little bit over Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
I don't know like how much over, but Dak is in that same, I don't know, 8th to 12th best quarterback in the NFL or something like that. Maybe 9th to 13th. You understand what I'm saying. And Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT.
Great stats, can't win in the playoffs.
Yep.
Not a bad quarterback, but can't get the job done. He's definitely not Patrick Mahomes. Kool-Aid. Alan W. asks, mailbag. The White Sox are on a 21-game losing streak.
Woo.
When did they hire Monty Williams?
Did he go there and just bench all of their talent as well?
They are
talk
so
about
bad.
being horrifically bad. Man.
And they had a horrible trade deadline too.
They sold off Tommy Pham and Paul DeYoung and Betty. They're going to win less than 40 games.
Yeah.
100%.
Chicago White Sox. Join us in misery, please.
Yes.
Anytime our brethren to the West can enjoy the type of misery we have, I definitely welcome it. Chicago White Sox, you're terribly good.
Yeah, Freddie Felt 313. Mailbag, what is your most embarrassing sports moment? For him, he lost by 100 when he was 10 in his first organized game of hoops in front of his entire family. We got our lick back and beat him by 38 a year later. Any embarrassing sports moments growing up?
I'm trying to think.
Let me think. That's a good question.
All right, when I was pitching as a sophomore in high school, we were playing Detroit Country Day, the #1 team in the state at the time. They were like 22-0 or 22-1. We had them. We were up 4-1 in like the 6th inning. I got a guy, their best hitter, down 1-2 in the count. I threw him a nasty curveball that hit him in the foot. He got on. I think he stole second base or something. They ended up winning. It was embarrassing to me.
Ooh. I feel you on that one. Gee.
All right, think about it. We'll come back.
I think I do.
You got one?
Yeah, this is back when I played Pop Warner football for the Titans. We were like 0-5 at the time, really, really struggling. They used to have me play defensive end because I was real fast getting around the edge. I do have 2 sacks to my name, which I'm very proud of. But on this particular play, they had me drop back in coverage, and I received my first crackback ever. All I remember is looking at the ball, going to the air. I turned around, I blinked, I was on the ground. So not a good feeling, man. Probably got my bell rung, but you know, back then it was just, oh, get your ass back up, get back in the game. So it is what it is. But yeah, definitely an embarrassing moment for me.
And you know what? I did think of one. Yeah, middle school basketball, actually. I was at a small Christian school and we were playing a team out in Monroe. And we were absolutely working them, and they were trying to teach us about sportsmanship, but who cares about that?
Right.
I'm just trying to hoop, right? And I was driving in. We were up like 30. They weren't calling fouls. You know the ebbs and flows of the games. It's like they're not going to call those fouls. You guys are just better. And they called like travel on me on a play where it was clearly like 3 people fouled me. And the ball, like I took the ball from the guy who was trying to take it out, And I like laid it up anyway. And I was like, count that, ref. And they were like, say something else. And it's going to be a tech. And I was walking away with the ball and I bounced it. And I just thought it was just going to bounce up and bounce. No, it bounced up. It hit like a light because the lights were kind of low. It hit a light. Like, that's how hard I bounced it. And then it bounced behind the backboard, went all in between the stuff, and literally bounced off of something and hit the freaking ref, dog.
Wow.
Technical.
I was like, oh my gosh, dog. And so I played in another league, church league too. And it was a bad week for me, man. I did not get the grades I was supposed to. And so I'm sitting here like, whatever. Saturday night's here. That's the league that I really love. And I was sitting there like, what? I'm a starter. Switched up the lineup. Okay, I'll get in. The whole game, nobody says anything to me.
Really?
And it's crazy because I'm telling you, I'm grateful for teams. And I recognize my position in it. And it's different when your father, my uncle was the coach of that team, and all your brothers are trying to help you make sure you avoid less and make less mistakes as you move forward.
Yeah.
And they won without me. And I sat through the whole game. Even my little brother got in the game. And I was sitting there like, yo, and my dad came and was like, get them better next time, son. And I was just like, I knew exactly what it was, man. Never miss another game because of that. I kept my attitude in check on the court as well as made sure I hit the books, man. But that was an embarrassing week for me, yo.
Yeah.
That was an embarrassing.
Yeah, here we go. Dante151 mailbag. With the injury to E-Man, who does that open up the door for that second cornerback position or nickel or however do you think this plays out in the secondary?
Rakestraw.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't think of anybody else who would open it up for.
I mean, Amik Robertson, but
I think Amik Robertson is already higher than Emmanuel Mosley.
I know who's claiming it already, and I sent it in the group chat already. Ennis Rakestraw, he's already responded to our breaking news post of the Emmanuel Mosley stuff, and he put a
God's plan.
That's I don't like that. I don't like that.
No, I said the same thing about Jake Banks, but it's a problem when I said no.
I feel like
but,
I don't.
Oh my God.
I get what the connotation could be, but I understand like probably how he meant it as well. Like definitely praying emoji hands for Emmanuel Mosley. And the kind of next man up mentality and whatnot.
It just sounds weird.
It sounds bad
when you put it like that.
It sounds cringe.
Yeah.
I must admit it, but I definitely want to at least make sure if we mention it that I was gonna at least how it I hope it. He meant it.
Yeah. I don't think he's like plotting on his teammate or anything like that. But yeah, it's just about how you word stuff sometimes, and saying God's plan right after an injury like that. It just ain't the best look in the world.
Man,
but I don't think,
like
to your point, I don't think he meant it
like
like
when
that.
a kicker gets injured, right?
Yeah, I know, right? But I'll take the heat for that. So I'd stand on that. I said professionally, I never want to see anybody get hurt, but I'm just saying.
But
Charles McClain, mailbag, of the first round picks Harris has made, who was the first player to make it to the big leagues? And who is his first trade acquisition to make it to the big leagues from the Harris trades?
Max Clark, Trey Sweeney.
Yeah, definitely Trey Sweeney. Do you think they'll finally DFA Javi, man, and he'll just be the stopgap?
You know, it's funny because we talk about Javi and the farm system and everything. Trey Sweeney steps right in and is their most legitimate shortstop prospect, at least in terms of who could come to the major leagues soon, because Ryan Kreidler's not legitimate. So maybe this is the encouragement, the nudge that they need. Because just imagine how much more exciting Tigers games would be if Trey Sweeney was the starting shortstop.
I mean, he's raking in AAA. I mean, his first couple of games, 7 for 14, 2 homers.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit easier to kind of take those losses if you're at least seeing it with the future of the organization rather than what a lot of us believe to be at some of these positions to be just dead ends.
The Tigers, as I said in the beginning, they have an opportunity coming up soon, especially when Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter get back, to put out a lineup, even if the Tigers are more than 10 games under 500, that is compelling. That gives you a glimpse of what we already have in terms of Riley Green being an all-star and guys like Kerry Carpenter and Colt Keith being productive, to go along with some up-and-comers like a Dylan Dingler or even a Justin Henry Malloy or a Trey Sweeney. That would be exciting. That would get my eyes on the TV. Lineups with McKinstry and Rogers and Baez, I almost want to turn it off before it even starts because it doesn't mean anything.
It's true.
He ain't wasting no time. No
None.
time to waste.
None.
Especially with these Tigers, man. We've been waiting for this squad and a lot of our teams to really reach the precipice, man. And it's not even like we're saying World Series precipice. It's just we want to see our team at least be a playoff contender again, get in there and do work, especially with the pitching. We don't want to see like Tariq Skubal have to go anywhere. just for the sake of us getting somewhere. So it's like, man, hopefully they're a lot closer with some of these additions than it actually shakes out to be. You make me a lot more optimistic, though.
I mean, it's the story of this Tiger season, and a lot of people don't want to admit this because I think people make a little bit too much in terms of their lack of spending. And don't get me wrong, this isn't an excuse because with a lot of these players, you see a pattern. The biggest hindrance to the Tigers being good this year has actually been injuries. Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Casey Mize, Reese Olson. Imagine if you got, and I get it's Parker a lot Meadows. To ask, if Parker Meadows, if you got a clean bill of health or a relatively clean bill of health from all of them, they're probably in the wild card race.
Maybe.
But conversely, with Kerry Carpenter, with Riley Green, with Casey Mize, it's a trend. They're guys that you can also consider injury prone. But they're all damn good players that Tigers have been without their services for a lot of the season, including right now.
True.
All right, last one. Mike G, mail sack. JB and KG.
What
if
up?
Mel Tucker was a WWE wrestler, what would his finishing move be?
Oh, God.
Tuck thrust.
I got to think of JB. You the spark guy. You got anything? I'm going to think of something.
Please involve Siri.
Please involve Siri.
It's got to
be. It's got to be something splash. Something splash, in my opinion.
Something splash.
Yeah,
I bet
big
it
splash.
does.
Yeah, something weird like that. What do you think, KG?
I think we call it Tuck Cane. That could be his finishing move.
Oh my gosh! It's like, oh,
it's the Tuck Cane.
Tuck Cane from the top ropes.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, he finished him off with the tuck cane.
The untucked, says Chase.
The untucked.
Rakestraw's new nickname, Wally Pittman, made. That's a great story.
I'll still never get over just how high on their own supply Michigan State fans and Mel Tucker got after that season. That offseason was some of the most nauseating stuff I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hey, it was one positive that came out of it, and we were just like, all right, cool. Let's just run with it. We kind of got some momentum, but then seeing what happened afterwards, it's like,
freaky ass Tuck.
Did you know he takes pictures with cars and smokes cigars? Did you know that makes him cool?
Yeah,
I was just about to say, man.
So much so that y'all paid him all that money because y'all thought he was cool.
I get that teams go through this whole marketing stuff because, hey, you're appealing to teenagers on social media. But, dog, JB, are you willing to admit it was overkill? Overkill with Tuck.
111 in 2 seasons.
It was extreme overkill, especially with all the money you sat here and paid him and all this little gimmicks with the cars on the field, you smoking cigarettes and like all the, or not cigarettes, but cigars and everything like that. Like it was extremely cringy looking back on it now. But as you said, with the marketing, the way the NCAA is going right now, hell, they're trying to pull in kids any way that they can. Texas is fucking giving everybody Lamborghinis, which I thought was ridiculous.
You know what? If he could coach, it would have worked out.
If he could have coached, that would have helped.
Well, that's the show, brother. That's the show.
Tuck Cane.
Tuck Cane.
Big splash.
Big splash. Oh, my gosh. What a show. Chat family, thank you guys for staying tapped in with Wake Up Woodward and supporting us. Go ahead and hit that like button if you didn't get an opportunity to. Share the stream, post the stream somewhere. Support the WUW Crew. Shout out to that dude, Justin. And we got Chase in the building. Thank you guys for your contributions to the show and to the network as well. But the vet of the network, that is Flannel Sam. What up, though, brother? Welcome back.
Hey, this was certainly fun, and it will always and forever be Kiss the Ring.
Let's go. Hey. Chest pass off the Kiss the Ring. Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers reporter, our Lions writer for the network. What up, though, brother?
Great show. Great show. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Another one.
Hey, let's
Another
go.
one.
Got the legend Rod Beard on. Hey, wait. Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Kool-Aid's birthday tomorrow.
Hey, shout out.
It's going to be awesome. Let's get to this elite booth. The wonderful, the stupendous,
Come
the
on.
great.
Keep it coming. Come on, Kool-Aid.
Better than the rest.
Yeah,
you already know how they do.
right.
They put it down. No. Hey, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. We got KG. Also, Black Hollywood.
Also.
And Bar King, your reigning Bar King champion.
Thank you. I am the OTC, the original. What is it? Would I be the OBK, the original Bar King? So,
OBK, yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the team, man. Great show today. Love everybody in the chat. Thanks for chipping in and all that. And yeah, let's keep this shit rolling, man.
Hey, let's rock. Woodward Sports' MVP in the tinted booth on a Tuesday. That is JB-Smoov.
Yeah, another great show by everybody here today. NCAA, do better. Like, come on. This is a weak allegation you're putting against Michigan as it is right now. Leave it alone. We all know what's going on. We're not stupid. We're not idiots. So chill with that. And Bar King, do we have a topic for today?
Hey. Oh, we do. The Bar King topic for Friday will be coaches. You are to name at least 3 of your favorite coaches in your bars. There's no limit on how many, but just at least 3.
All right.
Okay.
It has been set. So, chat family, you guys have also heard the rules. So, if you want to make sure that you get your submissions in, he said mention 3 of your favorite coaches. That is the limit. You can do more. And once you have your submissions, please get them over to Broder. Broder, you want to share your email address for the people?
Broder at woodwardsports.com.
Let's rock. Hey, and I'm your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Thank you guys for supporting the WUW Crew. We appreciate it greatly. I'm hoping you guys have a blessed day. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Hit that like button.